testing is defined as allowing the genetic diagnosis to inherit diseases and other traces of ancestry. Genetic testing has a correlation relationship with a statistical research showing that genetic testing is proved through mathematical and scientific research. Kyle has been genetically been proven that he may have heart disease that might not only affect the team, but his health. We do not wish to hurt Kyle throughout his training with us, only to know that we can cause severe damage to Kyle's life. The genetic test that Kyle has taken predicts his future accurately based on his experience to the exposure disease status and qualitative study of a single patient. There are genetic tests that have been able to cure the person of the genetic disease by proper treatment. This is what we want for Kyle. These tests have a proper relation with science and other factors. Risking a life is not worth $1 million contract nor putting the team in jeopardy. Can the team really risk the future of Kyle's life? Can the proof through the DNA testing, which is supported by a lot of scientific and mathematical evidence, be false? These statistics show a correlational relationship with the types of disease that can be contracted with inheritance. Kyle's disease has been proved with evidence. He has a great possibility of having heart disease. We do not wish to put Kyle in risk, and therefore we believe that Kyle should be suspended from the team at this point. Thank you.
Genetic testing is denying rights of people. People shouldn't be discriminated against as the test results may be false, also stated in the paragraph. It is the person's choice if he or she would like to continue working. There's a Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act of 2008 which states that if a person is predetermined for a disease, they cannot be discriminated against. What you guys are doing, you are discriminating Kyle against his disease, keeping him out of the team even though he would like to be on
it. We personally feel that your argument is false because we're not discriminating him. We're charging him off of medical grounds. The medical grounds are, in fact, a 25% chance for developing a heart disease. This can really hurt him. And additionally, the genetic testing is beneficial for many other reasons and that extend beyond Kyle himself. For example, in Cyprus, a successful program for thalassemia has been enacted, in which if both parents had the dominant allele for that trait, they would be genetically tested. And 90% of all of the possible disease children were aborted. So we prevented the disease in that region. And same thing for PKU. In the United States, since the 1960s, doctors did prenatal tests, and the parents were warned ahead of time, and the children put on a diet to prevent the mental retardation. And this is also beneficial for other diseases such as Tay-Sachs, Alzheimer's, cystic fibrosis, and Huntington's disease. So genetic testing isn't discriminatory. It is used for preventative medicine to help diagnose diseases and to benefit the health of people. And ultimately, it is more expensive for Kyle to end up in a hospital with severe heart disease than it is for him to embark on another career and just exit the team.
So, first of all the genetic tests are not always reliable, and if they get a positive result, they may or may not get it as it was stated in that paragraph. Also, if later they don't get it, then the only thing they could do, you take them out of their job, and now they suffer through the rest of their life just for a disease they never even got. And according to the Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act of 2008, you cannot fire someone or, as in this case, suspend Kyle from the team just because of the genetic testing results. And there is also a law that states when you cannot fire someone after you know they have a certain illness, because that's discrimination.
So, in conclusion, we believe that Kyle was rightfully fired from the team as a result of medical grounds. Exercise has been proven to increase the chance for this heart disease, and we believe we're not discriminating against him. If it were to be any logical person, to think in the long term for the future, and not to use such emotional responses, such as social discrimination, then it is just logical to take preventative measures so that you would prevent anything bad from happening in the future. Their primary argument was the Genetic Information Non-Discrimination Act. However, we believe that if we continue pioneer genetic testing and make it more advanced, at the same time, the regulations would also keep up with it, so we will prevent discrimination and can only dismiss people under risks of environmental factors.
So basically, you're saying that the test is true and that you're dismissing Kyle because of medical reasons. The thing is that the test may be false. There's not 100% truth in the test. And he should have a right to choose whether he wants to continue to work or not, even knowing that he is likely to get a heart disease. It's his choice.
I would like to add a fact in there. Genetic testing is very, even though people say it's not accurate, it's based on really scientific methods. We have 3 different types of testings, which is case series, case control, and cohort studies. And they do qualitative, quantitative. They also, some of them even check environmental factors, outside factors that actually affect these diseases. And they use many different resources. And it's actually like really scientific and mathematical based researches.
But there are actually many cases where DNA testing has proved false. In one website, the Gene Watch, there's actually an William C. Thompson has written a paper on how there have been errors in forensic DNA testing. And so it's not always reliable. Just nothing is always reliable. So when you said it's scientific based, science does not always have to be reliable. I mean, they can be. I don't. Oh, well,
It's not yet fully developed.
Yeah.
It's not fully developed to the point where it is 100% reliable.
Yeah.
It could be like 99%. There's a 1% chance where it could be false. And therefore, you're kicking out a person off your team because of that 1% chance. And he may not even get it in his life, and now you just ruin his career.
And that's it. That's the end of his life for him. He can't get a job anywhere else. You won't take him back. And now he
may not even get the disease.
And so we suffer through all that just to not end up
And
with
there's
the
a
disease.
law which basically says that you cannot discriminate against people. You cannot fire them because of a genetic disability. Genetic disorder.
So basically what you're saying is illegal. You can't suspend him from the team.
Even though it's on medical reasons. It's his
Unless-
choice on whether or not he wants to participate.
Unless he wants to leave based on those
his
medical reasons, you can't suspend him.
As you said, it's totally legal to dismiss somebody out of medical reasons. You guys, the negative is juxtaposing medical reasons versus indiscrimination. Medical reasons and discrimination are 2 different factors. Discrimination is that the team really doesn't want him to be there. However, this is not discrimination. This is based on solid scientific and medical evidence. And this evidence is infallible for him, since this disease, it's quite common and it's a 25% chance, and the team doesn't want to take any risks. It has a lot of financial liabilities involved if something actually does happen. And again, a lot of legal liabilities. So therefore, it is better for us to dismiss him and to give him a second opportunity in another career field and continue with the athletics because of health
In many
issues.
cases, over the past few years, evidentiary samples from crime cases often produce incomplete or partial DNA profiles. The DNA testing is not 100% true.
We don't need to test every single bit of DNA. We just need to test like the bits that code for the genes that could lead to potential mutations that could lead to disease.
Well, you mentioned before there was only 25% chance that it was true. So what about the rest 75? What if Kyle never gets the disease? And also, you are dismissing him based on something that